the last two Avengers movies, which I like to consider one movie, the same way Quentin Tarantino considers Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one whole movie. I think it truly was a spectacle. Even with the new Avengers movies coming out in the next 2 years, it won't be the same. To an extent it will be, due to the nostalgia factor and old characters returning, which is fine I guess. We're still in the multiverse saga, so obviously old characters from different movies and universes will make an appearance. I for one am truly excited for these movies, as I am with most of the MCU. Though many people believe after Endgame the MCU has hit its peak, and to an extent I agree, but for different reasons. Others seem to believe that the MCU has completely fallen off and even died, which seems to be the most popular take on the Marvel Cinematic Universe today. But let's discuss it. Is the MCU actually Now, the MCU in its current state is obviously not the best. In the eyes of most people, the movies after Endgame have all been either mid or outright awful. Is this reality? Well, let's start with the very first film after Endgame. Spider-Man: Far From Home, high critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and in case you think the critics don't mean anything, high audience score also. And if you think both of those don't equate a successful movie, well, let's look at box office numbers. Budget, $160 million. Surprisingly low budget for a movie with a lot of CGI, and great CGI in my opinion. But anyway, $1.1 billion made. Now, I'm no genius, but I'd say this movie is extremely successful and well received. Unless you live on Twitter, then everyone hates it, but review wise definitely A+, and box office wise A+. Next is Black Widow, which was released in theaters and Disney+, so I don't know if I would properly count this movie, but for the MCU haters, let's do it. They need a win. Critics score 79%, audience score 91%. Now, I personally am surprised the critics score is so high. Box office numbers, $288 million budget. Holy, that's absolutely insane. This movie CGI was pretty mid and honestly didn't have much CGI in it until the last act. Maybe it was the actor's budget. Box office it made $379 million, which is impressive to me considering the Disney Plus release. But for the haters, I'll call it a flop. Anyway, review wise A-, box office wise D-. I personally thought the movie was okay. Wasn't something I'd consider good, but definitely not horrible. Shang-Chi, now 92% critics and 98% audience score, $150 to $200 million budget, $432 million at the box office. I must say I absolutely love this movie, and it has the best fight choreography in any MCU ever in my opinion. Review grade A+, box office grade C+. I think the numbers are good for an unknown character released in the COVID-ish era. I wouldn't consider this a flop though. Eternals. Now this movie is, man, it hurts me. This movie is one of my favorites. I love this movie, I really do. I love the team and the characters. It gives a unique vibe. So with that being said, critics score 47%, audience score 77%, budget $236 million, box office $402 million. I'd probably go review grade D+, box office grade D+, maybe C-. I think I consider this a flop, but to be honest, new set of characters, bad reviews, but definitely a flop, I guess, as much as it hurts me to say. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I say again in case you didn't hear me. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yeah. No need to explain. Next. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. Now this feels like a movie that has a lot of revisionist history. It's also the movie that kind of started the mass MCU is dead trend. Obviously Love and Thunder made it a universal thing, but this movie started it. Critics score 73%, audience 85%. Budget is $350 million. Wow, I mean it is CGI heavy, but it also has good CGI in my opinion, so I kind of get it. Box office numbers $955 million, review grade B-, box office grade I'd say A-, maybe B+ due to the extremely high budget, but it grossed almost $1 billion. I definitely wouldn't consider this a flop, but some might considering the budget, and because they hate the MCU of course. But I love this movie. Honestly, a great movie. Wasn't a big fan of the Illuminati plotline, I don't know why. It just felt pointless, but It's not bad, and obviously I love Wanda as she is one of the best villains in MCU history. Definitely a top tier movie in my eyes, not just in the multiverse saga, but in the entire MCU. Thor: Love and Thunder. Now this movie is what ruined the MCU. In terms of image, this movie is hated to death, which is funny because I kinda liked it. Wasn't the best movie and obviously doesn't compare to the masterpiece that is Ragnarok, but it's better than Thor: The Dark World and maybe Thor 1. I don't know. Critics score 63%, audience 76%, budget 250 million, box office 760 million. Now I like this movie, not the best, but I think it's overhated just a bit, but definitely ruined Marvel's image permanently, at least until they soft reboot the franchise so the X-Men are the faces. Anyway, review wise C-, box office wise A-, definitely not a flop. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Critics score 84%, audience 93%, budget 200 to 250 million, box office 859 million, review grade A, box office grade A+. I like this movie, a bit controversial because of the Chadwick situation, RIP to the GOAT, but it was good in my opinion and obviously extremely successful. Not much more to say. Ant-Man 3 now. This movie I consider mid. If it didn't exist, nothing changes, literally. I remember the rumor of Ant-Man being killed by Kang, which should have happened to show how powerful Kang truly is, but that didn't happen, which I guess is for the best considering how Kang was erased from the plans. Don't need to say the numbers, just horrible all around. Flop. While 81% audience score is great, review wise D-, box office wise D+, maybe D-, but it at least made 400 million even with a $330 million budget. It's crazy how the Jonathan Majors situation literally changed the entire scape and trajectory of the entire MCU. Wow. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, critics score 82%, audience 93%, budget 250 million, box office 845 million, review grade A, box office grade A. My personal favorite movie after Endgame. Genuinely a masterpiece. This movie is clearly successful, so yeah, on to the next. The Marvels. Critics score 62%, audience 79%, budget 374 million, box office 206 million, review wise C-, box office wise F. This is the one movie that is an outright failure. Straight up bomb, can't deny it. I actually kinda liked it though, it was cool and funny. This failure really made people happy, as they hate Brie Larson and hate female heroes in general, so they won this battle. I hope it's not the last we see of Captain Marvel though. Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, do I need to discuss how successful this movie is? Review wise B+, box office A+, on to the next. Captain America: Brave New World. Critics score 47%, audience score 78%, budget 180 million, box office 415 million, review wise C-, box office wise C+. Some may consider this a flop, but I don't think it is completely. It did okay, I actually liked it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again. Love Sam as Cap though. Now we get to Thunderbolts. Critics score 88%, audience 93%, budget 180 million. Box office numbers at this current time of release, 353 million. Review wise A+, box office wise I'd say C, but that could change obviously. I don't think this is a flop per se, but it definitely could end up that way, at least financially. I think it's a step in the right direction for Marvel. Fantastic Four is next, and I'm really looking forward to it. I definitely see that movie doing well. As for the MCU in its current state, we have 4 flops in Black Widow, Eternals, Ant-Man 3, and the Marvels. Let's say 5 if you want to consider Brave New World a flop, which I don't. I consider anything a flop that doesn't break even, which Brave New World has done, albeit with bad reviews, but I liked it, so that's all that matters. Thunderbolts is looking like it will eventually break even as it's still in theaters, and I like Thunderbolts. It also has amazing reviews, but that one might be a flop unfortunately. Anyway, that's 8 successful Marvel films since Endgame, not including Brave New World or Thunderbolts, 7 of them making over 700 million. The one that didn't is the one about a new unknown character, which still managed to make 400 million. So is the MCU dead because it has made a few quality and financially bad movies? If your answer is yes, well fine, the MCU is dead. But if your answer is yes, but not because of the flops or bad reviews, but because of the story direction, well, many people argue that the MCU is bad now or not the same because there is no arc or no direction, no cohesive story. Well, let's look at it from this perspective. 2 new Avengers movies are coming that are going to conclude the multiverse saga, which I'll admit is a saga I don't necessarily care for, but that's just because I don't care about the multiverse plotline in anything. DC, Marvel, whatever it is, the multiverse plot just never got me. I don't really have a nostalgic thirst. I love No Way Home, but if you took out Toby and Andrew, it wouldn't matter to me. Though I do love their movies, and granted I loved when they appeared in No Way Home, I would have loved the movie without them. Now obviously the movie needs them to make sense of the story, but I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of movies in the Infinity Saga in hindsight means a lot now, but back then there wasn't exactly a big lead up. Ant-Man's story looking back didn't feel connected as much to the big villain lead up, but it was an introduction to a new character, same with the Iron Man movies or Captain America Winter Soldier. Now obviously we see the importance of them, but that's because we know now how the saga ends. Same thing will happen with the multiverse saga, eventually leading to the mutant saga, which is what some and I believe will be the soft reboot. Sort of a reset, a new set of faces, no more Iron Man, and Thor, and Thanos, and such. A brand new story set to span many years, starting with the X-Men. People also seem to believe that Fantastic Four is make or break for Marvel. I highly disagree. People seem to say this about every Marvel movie coming up, and it never makes sense. Ant-Man 3 flopped and they went on to make many huge successful movies. Fantastic Four could flop horribly, literally it could be the biggest bomb ever, and next year Spider-Man will easily hit 1 billion. Same with the Avengers movies. Marvel isn't going anywhere as much as people want to believe they will, or want superhero movies to die off because they don't consider them real movies. Well, too bad. Superhero movies will always be here, so for those of you clawing and jumping at the idea of superhero movies being non-existent, you're gonna have to wait another decade. I love this phase of movies personally, but as I said, I'm looking forward to the mutant saga, as it will be a new set of characters that I actually love. Don't get me wrong, I love the Avengers and all the characters in the MCU right now, but I mean before the MCU I didn't care for Thor or Iron Man or Captain America or even the Hulk. My favorite Marvel characters were Cyclops, Rogue, Deadpool, Johnny Storm. Now we are finally entering the era of those characters being adapted in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's gonna be great. So no, the MCU isn't dead and isn't gonna die. Is it as big as it was before? No, but that's okay. I love what they've been putting out. I'm excited for the new era. Same with the new DCU. Granted, I think DC is way superior than Marvel in terms of characters and stories, and Superman being the greatest character to ever exist in history of history, but that's just me. Let me know if there's anything I missed. Working on a video about DC, Marvel, and whatever else. Like and subscribe for more content, and as you know, thanks for watching and more videos to come. Also, I wanted to give my quick opinion on RDJ coming back as Doctor Doom. I do plan to make a separate video about the new Avengers movies in the future, so for now I'll say just one word. Peak.